Westinghouse. Westinghouse Studio One. Out of 70 years of leadership in research, out of the vision of America's most advanced engineers, out of the widest kind of experience in electrical manufacturing come products for home, farm, and industry that bear this respected mark, this mark of quality, the mark of Westinghouse. You can be sure if it's Westinghouse. Due to conditions beyond the control of the CBS television network and the Westinghouse Electric Corporation, the program originally scheduled for tonight will not be seen at this time. In its place, we are bringing you by television recording one of the most widely discussed and favorably reviewed programs ever presented on television, The Remarkable Incident at Carson Corners by Reginald Rose.
How Emily Hendricks looks?
I didn't notice.
I'll bet she's gained 10 pounds. That woman hasn't got the sense she was born with, letting herself go like that.
Well, she should have eaten at our house tonight. That was a great little supper you put together. I'm starving.
We're going over to the Caldwells later for a snack. Now, stop fussing. The invitation said 6 o'clock sharp. I couldn't help it.
Say, Helen, what are these kids cooking up anyway?
Oh, it's probably a play or a pageant, something like that. I'm dying to see it. I think the whole idea of the kids surprising us is just funny.
Well, I wish they'd surprise us at 7 o'clock. Oh, look at him. Hey, slow down, Mr. Rogers. You're not going to run a 4-minute mile at your age, are you?
Oh, good evening, Mr. Mrs. Guess I was in kind of a hurry. Well, Joey told me not to be late. What time is it?
Oh, 10 to 6, plenty of time.
Oh. I was rushing to close up the store early. Essie Loomis had to come in and browse around among the patent medicines. Afraid I was a little snappy with her. Well, that woman just about drives me out of my mind.
Oh, Mrs. Griff, how do you do? It's so nice to see you.
Good evening,
How
Miss
do you
Loomis.
Do? Liver extract it was. See you inside.
All right, Rogers.
Oh, look, dear, the Caldwells. Hi, Cecily. Helen, is that your new coat?
Hi there, Doc. How goes it?
Fine, Harry. How's that cough?
Well, it was killing me, but I got your bill this morning, and it disappeared just like that.
At Hartford, instead her bill. They're having the most wonderful sale. You ought to run down. I think I will.
Not to run down. Come in here before we go broke. Say, does anybody know what these pipsqueaks are up to? Susie's been looking like a little spy all week. What's the mystery?
Nobody knows. Isn't it the cutest thing? The children didn't even tell Miss Frank what it was about. Miss Frank told me that she asked them point blank in geography class yesterday, and they told her to go back to the lesson. Her. Can you imagine that?
I cannot. Poor Miss Frank.
You coming, Merv?
Come on.
See you, Doc.
Mervyn, do you have to smoke that down to the last quarter of an inch? I'm cold.
I'll be through in a minute, dear. Hi, Bill. Hi. Bill and Henny Woodbridge.
Oh, how are you, Bill?
Oh, just
Henrietta.
fine.
Hello, darling.
Merv?
How are you?
Well, Miss Wright, you look all spruced up. You all ready for the show?
There, you see, I told you it was a show. Henrietta, it's been ages.
Oh, Julia, how are the children?
Oh, just fine. Phyllis lost her first tooth yesterday. Oh, would be right here in front.
What kind of a show is it, Phil? Well, now, to tell you the truth, I don't know if it's a show or not. I mean, I'm only the principal of this school. I'm not supposed to know anything. I don't dare ask the kids about it. They'd have my head.
They're really something. You know, Harold won't tell us a thing. He changes the subject every time we ask him about it.
That's a smart boy you've got there, Merv. Top student. I wish I had more like him. Oh, if you'll excuse me just a moment, I want to see if Kobe has a furnaceable.
You know, these
Need any
kids
help?
have got me so
No, I don't
curious.
think
I
so.
know what
Probably
you
got
mean.
it all set.
Julia, you should see the way Alice has been acting lately. Well, Alice just loves being mysterious anyway. Girls do. Yesterday I told her I was surprised they let her in on it, with her being only 10. And she just looked at me. I know that look.
Come on, girls, let's go in. The show must be starting.
Come in, Henrietta. From Bill. See you later.
Good evening, Mrs. Woodbridge.
Toby, so you're invited too. How nice.
Yes, madam. Special invitation.
Well, now, that's just fine. We'd better go.
I think we'd better.
We'll see you
See
later.
you later. Oh, now, isn't that darling? They've got reserved seats and an usher.
Mr. and Mrs. Wright, seats 9 and 10.
Oh, Bobby, are you the usher?
Yes, sir.
Hope you have a pair for us in the first row.
Second row, Mr. Wright. This way, please. Please wait at the door, Mr. Woodbridge.
Wait at the door? All right, Bobby, anything you say.
No, he found a downright rude.
Oh, nonsense. Probably nervous.
Well, he did. Will you look at Dr. Caldwell trying to get those long legs of his under that stairs 2 feet? Mervyn, look.
Never mind about his. I'm worried about mine.
What's the matter?
I'm all tangled up in this thing.
Your stomach's growling, too.
Any reason why it shouldn't?
Oh, Julia, don't forget you're coming over later for a snack. Right.
Hey, Bobby, what's the matter?
John, they wish you. Mr. and Mrs. McGinnis. Seats 17 and 18. This way, please.
What is this?
I can't tell you.
Promise not to ask the boy again, Ralph. Take us to our seats, Bobby.
I said, what is this? Your mother and I didn't want to come here now. All these people. I asked you if there was going to be a lot of people.
Please, Dad.
Take us to our seats, Bobby.
Say, Henrietta, did you get... Hello, Steve.
Did you get that dress for Alice you were telling me about?
Oh, no, darling, it was the wrong color.
Oh, I thought it was pretty. That's Miss McGinnis. I think I'll just go back.
Let's start the show. Hey, Bobby, let's get started. Nobody's after a party. Let's go!
There's Kobe!
Hey,
Kobe, I need Mr. Kovaleski.
It's all right you call me Kobe, Bobby.
Sit down there.
Here you want me to sit? Oh, I sit over there. It's good enough.
This is where you're supposed to sit, Mr. Kovaleski. You have to.
I have to. All right, here.
Say, Kovaleski, you going to be the guest of honor?
And a boy, Kobe!
Let's start the show.
Just look at Alice, if that isn't the best-looking dress. That Parker girl doesn't show up at all next to her.
Oh, Harold's got a clean shirt on.
He did it himself. My goodness, I'm so surprised. He looks nice.
Hello, Susie. Are you going to sit with me?
Look at Susie's face. Sarah Bernhardt. I'm going to giggle.
The court will rise.
Yes, sir. I just got into this.
His Honor Judge Joseph Rogers.
This court is now in session. If this isn't the most original idea, I just knew there was some... Clerk? Go ahead, Susie.
This court will now try the case of the people of Carson Corners against Mr. Peter Kovaleski. Against Mr. Peter Kovaleski for murder.
And now we turn to the case of the empty chair.
Yes, Mother's chair is almost always empty at breakfast time. She's so busy in the kitchen, frying bacon and eggs or making pancakes, that she practically never gets to sit down with the others. Oh, look at that. Now her coffee is cold. Well, you'll always be able to sit right with your family and enjoy breakfast when you have the Westinghouse automatic fry pan. You can cook right at the table, and everything is automatically better. So good, in fact, that I'll bet you'll find you use your fry pan for lunch and for dinner, too. And why do things cook so beautifully? Well, for one thing, the Westinghouse heats better, much better than other square fry pans. Just let me show you. Now, this square fry pan has a round heating element, but the Westinghouse element follows the shape of the pan. You see how that round heating element leaves 4 cool corners, here, 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 and here. But see how evenly the square element heats the fry pan. No cool corners. All foods brown evenly. This is one time that it's good to be a square. Heat control is important, too. Now, this small thermostat measures the heat at just one spot, but the Westinghouse thermostat measures the temperature right across the pan. It gives accurate heat control, so you needn't watch constantly. Now, I'd like you to look at the exclusive safety handle on this Westinghouse that protects your hand from the hot pan. And notice, it's square, too, so it can't possibly turn in your hand. That's something I'm sure you'll appreciate just as much as I do. Of course, you can dip the pan in water for easy cleaning. So go and see your dealer tomorrow about a Westinghouse automatic fry pan. It's only $22.95. Remember to ask for the square fry pan with the square heating element. And remember, too, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
We return now to Westinghouse Studio 1 and the remarkable incident at Carson Corners.
What do you kids think you're doing?
What kind of a thing to say? You make a joke, Susie. You make a joke. That's not a good joke. Murder, not good.
Stop it, Colby. Now. Why, I know as little about what's going on here as any of you, but whatever it is, we're going to have order. There's no sense in getting these children any more frightened than they are right now. All right, now we'll talk, but one at a time. Right.
Well, I'd certainly like to know what...
Just a moment, Julia, please. Joey, are you in charge of this?
No, sir, we all are. All the kids.
Well, do you know it's not very funny to accuse a man of murder, even in a joke?
Yes, sir. Mr. Wood...
I think you'd better apologize to Mr. Kovaleski.
Sir. No, Mr. Woodward. It's all right. Just kids. I know kids for 30 years. They have a joke. It's all right.
All right. All right, I think we can call an end to this. But don't forget the supper after the basketball game on Friday night, everybody.
But Mr. Woodridge! Dad!
Pardon me. I was thinking that children have worked so hard to surprise us. All the whisperings and preparations. My boy, Joey, made me give him 2 weeks' allowance in advance so that he could... Well, I see now it was to buy that gavel there. Maybe it wasn't a very good idea, but Mr. Kovaleski doesn't mind. I mean, it'd be a shame to disappoint the children. Maybe no one agrees with me. I don't know. Thanks.
Well, I think...
Sure, let them go ahead. It's their party.
I don't know. Kobe?
Sure, they're good kids.
Oh, all right. Now, does anyone want to say anything?
Order in the court.
The court has appointed Harold Wright as your lawyer, Mr. Kovalevsky. Any objections?
Oh, no, Your Honor. I got a good lawyer. Eh, Harold?
Counsel for the prosecution, Tommy Prince.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're going to prove that the man sitting over there in that chair, Mr. Peter Kovalevsky, is a murderer. We're going to prove that the murder he did was premeditated. 5 months and 6 days ago, something happened that maybe most people in Carson Corners don't think about much anymore. I'm talking about the time Billy McGinnis fell off the fire escape right outside this door and was killed.
No. What are you trying to do, you crazy little... You keep away from me.
Please, Dad, you've got to listen.
You ought to be whipped for letting them make a game out of your own brother's death.
Dad, please, it is not a game. Why, it isn't a game. Prosecution will continue.
It was an accident. That's what everyone said. The railing was busted, broken, and Billy fell through it. Well, we don't think he fell. We think he was pushed through the railing and killed by Mr. Kovalevsky.
What do you say about me? That's a lie. I take you and... You touch him and I'll break your head open. Now listen to me, Tommy. You know what you just said? You know what it means, Tommy? Answer me.
Yes, I do.
You're not playing with kid stuff, Tommy. This isn't just a cute little idea anymore.
We never said it was.
You have anything more to say?
Yes, sir.
Well, then say it. I'm listening.
Mr. Woodbridge,
Maybe you better sit down, Kobe.
Counsel for the defense, Harold Wright. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we all know Mr. Kovalevsky. Kobe has been a janitor in our school for over 30 years. We see him every day.
I think we ought to get to the point. All this nonsense
Let's hear
about...
what he has to say.
Well, the idea is that Kobe is our friend. Kobe likes kids, and anyone who likes kids the way Kobe does could never have pushed Billy McGinnis off the fire escape. He never could. Everybody knows that about Kobe.
Call the first witness.
Sir Hendricks.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yep.
What's your name? Bertram Frank Hendricks, Jr. Sam. Hi.
Bert, did you know Billy McGinnis?
Sure. He was my best friend in the whole school.
Did you see him the day he died?
Sure. I saw him every day. Sat right next to me in geography and arithmetic. Size blank. You know, he was the same size as me.
Just answer the question.
Okay.
Bert, tell us what happened when you saw Billy that day.
Okay. Well, it was about 11 o'clock because Mr. Woodbridge's class was just having recess. Most of the kids were playing games and stuff in the yard. I was going up to finish my history homework before the class started. You know how Mr. Woodbridge gets sore.
Hey, not so fast, mister. Where you going? Look out!
Did you see that? Holy cow. Look at it wiggle.
Yes. That gets fixed right now. You want to help me with the tools, Bert?
No, I can't. I gotta go in. Holy cow. Hiya, Bill! Hi! What did you happen to me?
Hello, Billy.
Hi.
You want to help me get the tools? Good.
Well, anyway, in the middle of history class, well, I had to go downstairs. It was maybe about 11:15. I don't know. I tried the railing again and it was still busted. You know, I gave it a shove. When I got downstairs, I saw Bill and McGinnis coming out of Miss Frank's room. Before? Guess what I saw? How do I know? Quit it! You know the community cans we filled up in the collection this morning? Colby has them hidden down there. I bet you stole them. No kidding. Honest, there must be $15 in them. He had them stuck behind the boiler. He saw me looking at them, so I ran out. I tried to tell Miss Frank, but she said I was interrupting the class. I'm scared, Bert. He's probably after me. Holy cow. Listen, I gotta go back now. So long. Hey, Bert! Wait a minute! Bert! Wait a minute! Wait!
We think Mr. Kovaleski pushed Billy off the fire escape because Billy saw the community fund money he stole.
You heard what he said. What about that? Open your mouth. What about it?
I did. He don't tell the truth.
Well, what is the truth, then? Let's hear it. Look at him. Look at his face.
No, I never pushed him. Never. They lie. Children. They lie to you. Crazy children. Miss Frank, she gave me the community fund cans to hold. She's gonna turn them in the next day. I keep them overnight. Nobody should steal. I don't steal. Ask her. You ask Miss Frank. Miss Frank? Oh, Miss Frank!
She's not here. She had to go to Centerville. Her sister is sick.
This is Exhibit A. Joey Rogers found them behind the boiler in the basement last Friday.
Last Friday? That's 5 months later. You hear that? 5 months. He stole them. That's enough for me. Listen to me, everybody. Listen. There's a boy dead. Your boy, McGinnis.
No.
You don't understand. Miss Frank forgot. She forgot. I never steal. I didn't kill a child. How could I kill a child? I don't. I swear.
I'll show you how to swear.
What are you doing, you lonely children?
All right, now swear. Swear.
I swear.
You're a liar. Get out of my way.
Are you the law in this room? Shame. Our sons and daughters will see us behaving like animals. What will they think of us? The Avenger. You're so ready to punish. Did you see this man commit a crime? Did you? Did any of you actually see him? Maybe it was like the children said. Maybe it was. But this is certainly no way.
It wasn't as they say. I tell the truth.
Shut up. Now, we've had enough talk around here. Let's do something about him.
Mr. Prince! Mr. Prince! Let him talk. Sit down. Let him talk.
didn't you fix the railing? I was going to fix. Oh, you were going to. I was going to fix. I went downstairs into my basement. I asked Billy he should help me carry the tools. Sometimes they get a little heavy for an old man, and something, Billy?
Corey, how do you work this thing?
You wait a minute and I'll show you. What's the matter, Billy?
Nothing.
I was eating my lunch, liverwurst, pie, coffee, and apple. The railing was broken, and I was hungry. I didn't know. I didn't know it.
Now, children, stand back. Who is it?
It's Billy McGinnis, Mr. Woodbridge.
Yeah, it's Billy. Gee, you shouldn't take him up, Mr. Woodbridge. Well, Mr. Woodbridge, you told us yourself in first aid we should never move the body. But, Mr. Woodbridge, don't you remember?
No, wait just a moment, please. Quiet, everybody, please. Quiet. I want to say something. I don't know whether the boy was pushed or whether he fell, but I do know this. The man who picked Billy up and carried him inside is just as much a murderer as if he had taken a gun and shot him. That's right, Mr. Woodbridge. A murderer!
But the boy was lying on the ground. Well, what about him? Who knows if he came up out of the basement? I was right there and I didn't see him. How do we know he's telling the truth? Maybe he was up on the fire escape. Maybe he did push the boy. Nobody saw him. All we know is what he tells us in his broken English. Wait. Did you see him? Did you? Yeah. Did anyone see him come up out of the basement? Did you? The boy was lying on the ground. He shouldn't be left to lie there on the ground.
Now let's pause a moment and turn to our Westinghouse program again. Goodbye forever.
Say goodbye forever to messy old drip pans like this that you have to empty every time you defrost the refrigerator. And say goodbye to scraping all that frost off the freezer, too. In fact, you can say goodbye to the whole messy chore of defrosting when you own this beautiful big Westinghouse frost-free. It's the refrigerator that always keeps itself completely frost-free. That's right. You never have to push any buttons or set any clocks or timers because it is completely automatic, all of the defrosting. And here's why. You see that magic button right there? Well, every time you open the door Warm, moist air enters the refrigerator and causes frost to form. Now, when you've opened and closed the door enough times, that button gives a signal that starts the frost-free system working. It quickly wipes away every trace of frost, and even the defrost water evaporates automatically. Now, be sure you remember to look for that magic button, because it's the sign of the exclusive Westinghouse frost-free system. And here's something else that's exclusive with Westinghouse, too. It's this genuine meat keeper that protects your fresh meat in 3 different ways. Now, first, its location right under the freezer gives you just the right cold you need for the near-freezing temperatures that keep your fresh meat just right. Then, it's sealed all along the top here, and that provides the right humidity so that your meat doesn't dry out. Then, third, there's this special rack in here that allows the cold air to circulate all around the meat. I could go on and on telling you about this wonderful Westinghouse frost-free, but I think you better go see it for yourself. You can own it for as little as $5.15 a week after a small down payment. So go to your dealer and ask to see the one and only genuine frost-free. And remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
We return now to Westinghouse Studio 1 and the remarkable incident at Carson Corners.
I didn't know. How do you know it? It was half an hour, Cess. Cess, I was exhausted. I was watching a Buster Keaton movie, Cess. A very funny man, Buster Keaton. He never smiles. I was watching a Buster... The boy was dead when I got there. I never could have saved him, never. Well, it happens. Do you think it never happens? People make mistakes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Good. He says he's sorry. You hear that, everybody? Our doctor says he's sorry. Well, I've been in your house, doctor, and had your cold little instruments poking me in my chest and back. What were you listening to then? Buster Keaton?
Stop it.
Stop it. He ought to be ridden out of town on a rail.
Let him alone. He said he couldn't have saved him.
Maybe he was lying.
Why?
Please, Mr. Wright. Let me go.
Let you go. You'll be handcuffed.
Let
Mr.
him
Wright.
go.
What are you doing?
Let him go.
It's all right, Susan. Susan, it's all...
Listen to me, everybody. We're going off in all directions here. This is the man we're trying. Let's not forget that. He's as guilty as Cain. I know it, and so do most of the good people in this room know it.
Do they? Do you know it, Mr. Prince? Or Mr. Woodbridge, does he know it? Or Dr. Caldwell, does he? Or Mr. Wright, do you know who the guilty man is, Mr. Wright? Our school is an old, dirty building that should have been condemned and torn down a long time ago. Now, well, you're president of the Chamber of Commerce. Why don't we have a new school?
Where do you suppose we get the money?
Well, I hear that the Chamber of Commerce is going to rebuild Main Street with new storefronts and new sidewalks and even a statue. Now, that'll take a lot of money.
Now, what does that prove? I'm a criminal. Cart me off to jail. Beautifying Main Street is the same as stealing money from the community fund. Right? What does this man mean by coming here and making a fool out of me?
He's the same as any of us. He lives here.
You've got a good right to speak up, Doctor.
Then I'll speak up. Since my husband isn't good enough to talk to you anymore. But I don't think that worries him. He has something else to think about, and so do you. Mr. Rogers didn't make a fool of you. Nobody can do that for you. You have to do it for yourself. Sex Caldwell.
You people, what do you know?
Well, why don't we have a new school?
You think I'm going to stand around here and listen to this? Get your coat, Julia.
Come on,
Answer
Harold.
the question. Why don't we have a new school?
Yes, why don't we have a new school?
Come on, son.
Harold, oh, now, don't tell me it's all over. I just this second.
Now, here's the proof we've been waiting for.
I just this second got back from Centerville. My sister's down with the virus. Oh, what a nice crowd.
Now, maybe we'll hear the truth.
For heaven's sake, what's happening? Is this some kind of a joke?
Miss Frank, tell them. Tell them. They say crazy things.
Kovalevsky, tell them what? What are you talking about? Would you mind telling me?
Miss Frank, we have some questions to ask you.
Miss Frank.
Now, Rogers, let's get this over with.
We would like to question you. Miss Frank, would you please...
Question me? Well, what have I done?
Oh, you've done nothing. Please, would you...
What about the money? Ask her.
What's he talking about?
Will you tell the woman what is going on?
I don't understand.
Please, just everyone sit down again.
Please, Miss Frank.
This isn't a joke, is it?
No, Miss Frank, it isn't a joke. Just sit up there, will you? Joey, go over there and sit in my seat.
What have my children done?
Well, they've had a trial. They've accused Mr. Kovalevsky of pushing Billy McGinnis to his death.
What? But that's fantastic.
Well, they say that Billy died because he discovered that Mr. Kovalevsky he had stolen some money. Some of the people here believe him.
But they don't. How could they? Oh, they pushed Billy. But the railing was broken. Everyone knows that.
Look, we had enough talk here. Now we want some answers now.
That's right. Now, Miss Frank, you took up a collection for the community.
Let me finish, then ask you questions. Miss Frank, did you know that the railing was broken before Billy fell?
How could I? If I had, I certainly would.
Alice, don't be frightened, Alice. Say what you want to say. Everybody can, even the children. Well, that's why we're here, isn't it? Well, you say what you started to say.
I just remembered something before.
We can't hear her.
I just remembered something before. I'm in Miss Frank's class, and because I'm so good at spelling, she lets me be the board eraser monitor. I mean, to clean the board erasers when they have spelling. The day Billy was killed, I went outside with the erasers around 11:45 like I always do.
I'm telling you, Colby. Sometimes this inspection business is for the birds. Yes. How's that railing holding up, Colby? I say, Colby, how's that railing holding up? Good. Well, it ought to. Say, when did they build this fire escape, Colby?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe about 1946, around there.
I guess that's about right. It feels good and solid. Oh, you didn't have to come up here with me, Colby.
I had to get my broom.
You know, Colby, you'd think that inspecting buildings for the county would be a pretty good deal. Well, I'm telling you, I go nuts half the time just looking at things. Almost like to quit it. But the money is steady. You know how it is.
Steady is the most important.
Now. I suppose this railing is solid all the way up?
Yes, I keep it good.
Okay, Colby. Give you an A for effort.
Oh, young lady, you've had about enough time to clean a dozen erasers.
Oh, Miss Frank, I'm sorry. They were awfully chalky.
Yes, Mr. Prince, he must be inspecting the building. I wonder if Mr. Kovalevsky told him about that loose railing. I noticed it this morning. Now, that might just get Mr. Kovalevsky into all kinds of trouble. Harold, what are you doing? Well, I told you to hurry. Now, I'm sorry, Miss Frank. Go on in the school, please. All right, Alice. No, I'll just wait till Mr. Prince leaves, and then I'll tell Mr. Kovalevsky.
Well, you just keep things in shape, Colby. Everything looks fine.
I was going to say something. I just didn't want to get anyone into trouble. You understand? Don't you understand? It would have been so easy. He was right there. Mr. Prince was right there. So why doesn't somebody say something?
Listen. The rail... Well, please, Mr. Prince, be seated, will you? Mr. Wright, Miss Wright, may I ask you a question? On the day Billy died, there was a collection taken up in school for the community fund. You were in charge of it? Well, what did you do with the money?
The money? Well, it was in cans. Community fund cans like those, yes. I gave it to Mr. Kovalevsky to hold.
Why?
I didn't have any place to keep it safe, and I couldn't turn it into the fund until the next day. Mr. Rogers, I never turned it in. I completely forgot it. I never gave it another thought from that day to this. Well, those cans. But they must be the ones that I gave to me. Oh, no. They didn't, it's that. It didn't.
Thank you, Miss Frank.
We're sorry, Colby. The kids, we didn't know. We're sorry.
Mr. McGinnis, I was going to fix... Please, Mr. McGinnis, I want to tell you how I feel.
You feel dirty? Maybe you feel sick? Don't say it. I know how you feel. You feel like breaking something. That's the way I feel. I'd like to break your neck, Mr. Kovalevsky. I'd like to take some of these good people here and crush them the way you would a roach. But I won't. No. I won't touch you. Or you, Mr. Prince. Or you, Dr. Caldwell. I'm going home and get down on my knees and pray to God to be forgiven for what you're going to hear right now. Now pay attention. Don't miss a word of it. It's something I forgot a long time ago. 8 years ago.
Step it up, Ralph. Near quitting time.
Yeah, I'm almost finished.
Brother, I'm beat. Not a bad job for 2 days, huh?
No, it's about time they put a fire escape on this school. This old dry wood really won't in a hurry. Say, where are we working tomorrow, Eddie?
Becker's place. Do there first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that roofing job. What the dickens did I do with that last angle brace? Eddie, you see another angle brace down there? I need one to finish off this railing.
There's one around here somewhere. Well, let's take it off. So long. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, Eddie. So long.
Mr. McGinnis. Surprise.
Katie, what are you doing here?
I thought I'd come by to walk you home, dear. I think it's pretty darn nice of me.
Oh, you do you? Honey, I gotta finish up here first.
Oh, come on. It looks all right.
Oh, I won't be long.
Let's go home now.
Okay. Just let me put my stuff away. Hiya, big boy. Hello, Billy. What are you grinning at, you little monkey? Look at me, neighbors. I helped kill my son. You hear me? His own father. Turn your backs and walk away from me. He was my boy. When I put that wrench away, that was the end of it. Just as though I'd sunk it into his head. He just grinned at me. A nice, fat, happy kid. He was 6 months old. Then he was 8 years old. So fast. On his 8th birthday, I gave him 8 whacks on the behind and 1 to grow on. Then he said, "Daddy, where's my present?" I had to say, I forgot. He cried. I went down to the store next day and I got it, but he didn't come home that day. I forgot. We forget too much. We forget or we're too tired or too lazy or too scared to do the things that people got to do. They're only little things. The kind of thing we yell at kids to do. They're not supposed to show us where we're wrong. We're supposed to show them. If we don't, who's going to save them from each other? Now listen to me. Pay attention. This can't happen again. We're human beings. We live together, right next door. We've got to live for each other or we're nothing. Now hear me. We've got to do better. I forgive you. Please, someone forgive me.
Well, I guess we can all go home.
Now Betty Furness wants to show you the end of a perfect dinner.
Yes, but even the most perfect meal has this awful aftermath, a mountain of dirty dishes. But this new Westinghouse portable dishwasher will take over the whole job for you. It's full size. It holds more dishes and pots and pans than any other dishwasher. Well, find out for yourself, because you can have this new Westinghouse portable dishwasher for a free home trial. Just ask your Westinghouse dealer about it. There's no cost and no obligation. And there's no plumbing problem either. You simply attach this hose to the hot water faucet, and then you put this one in the sink for draining. And your dishes and pots and pans all come out sparkling clean. And just think of the pleasure that you'll have being able to join your family after dinner instead of having to do time with the dishpan. Now, you can also have this portable model permanently installed this way if you wish. So, see your dealer tomorrow about the free home trial. And remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
This is Paul Brinson saying goodnight for Westinghouse and reminding you that this is the most hopeful and crucial year in March of Dime's history. For a trial vaccine will be tested this winter. If the vaccine works, infantile paralysis will become, at long last, a disease of the past. Join the march of dimes today. And now, until next week, good night.
Studio One originated live from New York City. Tuesday nights